Hi there. So we're just going to wait for a couple of minutes until we've got everybody on the channel, and then we'll start, and we'll be presenting two technology platforms today. So we'll have Float, where we've got Harriet coming over from Edinburgh, and Harriet's going to show us the Float app and a brief presentation, and then myself, Ollie, will take you through Capitalize.com. So I think what we'll do now is we'll switch on to Harriet, and Harriet's going to take us through her presentation, and we'll kick off with Float, and then after that into Capitalize. So here we go. We'll just switch on to Harriet, and hopefully you can see that.
Thanks, Ollie. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So I'm here to talk to you about how Float cash flow forecasting can help you and your clients understand the future of their businesses without having to spend hours populating a spreadsheet. So talk about the problem we hope to solve, which is that building and maintaining a cash flow spreadsheet can be incredibly painful. Information tends to go out of date almost as soon as you enter it. These spreadsheets can take hours to produce, and if you make one tiny mistake, you can throw off a client's forecast by a significant amount. And what happens if you want to go back and see why a certain figure is the way it is? You can't click in and see the detail behind the numbers, really. So that's where Float comes in. So what is Float? Float is an app that integrates with Xero, QuickBooks Online, and FreeAgent to automatically build cash flow forecasts that are simple and easy for business owners to understand. You do need to have one of your clients on one of those platforms to use Float. Float pulls in all the transactions from inside the accounting software automatically, showing you what's been paid, what's due to be paid, what isn't there that you expected, and how that all affects your client's bank balance. Because this is a tool aimed at being simple for business owners to understand, we don't do a P&L or balance sheet based forecast. It's just all about cash. Float is particularly good for managing your client's short-term cash flow. A lot of business owners find themselves firefighting bills and invoices. Float makes that all very visible and easy to understand. The other thing that Float's really good at is long-term forecasting and build scenarios to answer what-if questions. Maybe your client wants to build a cash reserve as a safety net, or maybe they need to see what would happen if they hired a new employee. Float will help you and your clients plan these potential futures. Float is way better than a spreadsheet because you can get really granular without putting in any serious effort. Anyone who's run a cash flow from a spreadsheet will know that getting a month beginning and month end is one thing, but getting that all-important daily view of your numbers is something else. We can give you that daily view. And when your budget starts filling up with your actuals, you can see that at the click of a button, which bills and invoices are causing that change, meaning that no number goes unexplained. Finally, Float updates from your client's accounting software every 24 hours, pulling in all of your client's bills, invoices, payments, and transactions, meaning that it's always up to date. So why Float? All this means that Float is really easy for you and your clients to stay on top of their numbers. You can visualize the future really easily and see the different situations that could happen, meaning you and your clients can spot any nasty surprises long before they happen, and all the while saving you time by automating what is otherwise a tedious job of data entry. It's easier to share and to collaborate with others using Float. You can add multiple staff members from your own practice, and if you'd like, you could give your clients access really easily, and they can invite their own stakeholders as well. Where Float becomes really powerful is when it's used as part of conversations between advisor and client. Float can give your clients the numbers in a really easy to understand way, which acts as a focal point for important conversations where you can bring in your expertise to create a strategy to achieve the future your clients most want. This is why many of our partner accountants create a billable cash flow advisory service around Float. So I'll just take you through some of the features of Float. Right here, we're looking at our dashboard. At the top, you can see your practice subscription, which is free forever. And then below here, you can see your clients that you've added. So I'll move on to the next thing, which is the cash flow graph. And the blue line here represents the bank balance on any given day. This is the past on the left over here, and you can see what your bank balance actually was. And on the right, you can see the blue line predicting what the bank balance will be in the future. The green and red bars are what we call budget bars. The green bars represent cash in, and the red bars represent cash out. Over on the left, showing your historic data, you can see the bars are dark green and red. The dark shades represent actual cash in and out. But on the right, the bars are mostly a very light shade of green and red. The lightest shades represent cash you think will move in and out of your client's business. We call these budgets, and you can set them yourself. And the middle shades represent bills and invoices that have been entered into the accounting software, but where cash has not yet actually moved in or out. So you can always see what cash you think will move, what cash is due, and what cash has been paid. Every 24 hours, we automatically pull through your client's data from their accounting software and update their float account with the most relevant and latest information. You can also manually pull in the data anytime you want. You can also track performance against your budgets. So below the graph I just showed you, you get a table with all of your chart of account categories and their budgets. You can click into each cell to find out more information, like in this screenshot. So here you thought you were going to spend about £150 on motor expenses, but you actually paid about £411. And you can see the bill there, so there's no confusion about how you went over budget. You can set your budgets as one-off budgets, like in the example here on the left, or you can set them to reoccur, like the one on the right. So for example, your clients might have weekly payroll, in which case you could set a payroll budget to come out every Friday. You can always click into a cell to compare your budgets versus your actuals. This is useful to check whether you need to adapt to your future budgets. And moving on to this daily cash flow view, here you can see a full list of all the transactions that are coming up, and you can get a very detailed daily view of your projected bank balance on a day-to-day basis over the coming weeks. And this is a snapshot of our Cash Manager tab. This is a view where you can filter your bills and your invoices, and here you can model short-term cash by setting expected dates on bills or invoices that can be different from their official due date. So if a customer owes your client cash, for example, you can see how important it is for them to collect it quickly, or if the person who owes them money can be allowed some grace. You can see which bills your client might want to pay now and which they might want to delay as well. So here's our scenario planner as well, which is a really cool feature. Here we're back to our cash flow graph, but this time we've overlaid our first forecast with a new forecast. You can see the yellow line. This second scenario projects what would happen to the cash position of this client if they saw a 5% slump in sales. But you can use the scenario planner for any situation you want to plan for. If your clients are looking to hire a new member of staff, you just need to increase the payroll line. Or if they want their bank balance to hit £100,000, you need to see what costs they can cut and how much revenue needs to increase by in order to get there. So scenarios are really good for planning those what-if kind of questions. You can also export your cash flow to a PDF or a CSV. So I'm showing you a PDF here. And this can be useful if your clients want to show any of their stakeholders, or if you need just to show your clients this at the end of each month. Finally, we handle all of our own support. So if your clients have any challenges, they can come straight to us rather than using up any of your time. I just have a quick testimonial here from one of our accounting partners who said, Float is brilliantly simple. It gives a business owner the ability to easily predict cash flows and identify problem areas. Its simplicity makes it easy to update and really usable as a day-to-day management tool. So just a shameless plug there. And then I've got just a quick slide on our partner program. So we do have a partner program for accountants and bookkeepers, which gives you some pretty awesome benefits, including discounts for your clients. And I'll get to that on the next slide. Unlimited staff logins for free, free training for your clients, and one dashboard where you can see all of your clients and log in easily. So we do offer members of our partner program discounts, starting at 50% off our medium plan. If you have between 1 and 4 clients on Float, the cost is £24 per month. If your clients had come to us directly, they'd be paying £49 per month for the same functionality. So it is a big discount. And then this cost goes down, as you can see, the more clients you add to Float. So that's actually it from me. If you can find us at www.floatapp.com/partners. And if you have any questions for me, you can reach me at partners@floatapp.com.
Cool. Thank you very much, Harriet. That's great. And I'm going to take over the screen back to me now. So that was Harriet from FloatApp, and obviously saw the contact details there, and also seeing the awesome cash flow tool they built at Float. So we've got some technology there to help with managing cash flow and to look at the data side of things. And I guess obviously what it is difficult to do is to magic cash flow out of nowhere. And so we thought it'd be interesting to put Capitalize.com alongside Float as a solution to fixing where there are cash flow deficits. So Capitalize.com is an online platform for businesses and their advisors to find the best lender. And I'm just going to take you through a brief presentation and then a bit of a demo of the platform there. So I'm actually the product director at Capitalize, and on the screen you also see Paul, who's the MD, and Barbara, who's our head of marketing. And the challenge that we're trying to face and solve here is looking at the number of lenders in the marketplace. So with over 200 lenders in the marketplace, how does a business find the right match? They might go to their branch network for their existing bank, and we know that the criteria for banks are quite tight, and that may not be the right funding solution for them. They may go online, in which case they'll probably see something a bit like this, which is a search results from Google, where they can see a bunch of different lenders and aggregators and people who are just selling leads on. And the question for the business is Google really giving the business the best lender for them? And hopefully they'll come to their accountant and any advisor and someone of trust to actually discuss the problem. And this is where Capitalize can come to help. And we are facing some behavioral problems in the market. There's businesses are leaving a very short amount of time before they need funding. So perhaps only 7 days before they actually need that cash flow. Obviously, hopefully that's going to be stretched out a bit longer if they're using the Float app, but that's still obviously going to be quite a tight time period. They probably only leave just 1 hour to research, so obviously heavily reliant on advisors to help them through this process. So we're going to show Capitalize and how that can accelerate the journey of finding the right finance for a business. Capitalize sits between businesses, advisors and introducers and banks. So we'll see how that three-way relationship works. And we have a range of lenders on the platform, both from high street through to independents, the disruptives in the market, and some alternative lenders in there as well. So it really is across the whole market. And I'll show you how you can access those different lenders on the platform. Okay, so I'll go straight into demo, so a live demo. Obviously, fingers crossed to see how that goes, and I'll just take you on that journey. So I'll just print this over here. Hopefully that comes through. And I'm logged in here as an introducer. So if you were to sign up on Capitalize.com through the accountants page, and this is a dashboard that you get. Once you're on the page, you can obviously access credit reports, which is the ability to download free credit reports through Capitalize, or you might want to start a funding search for your client. So let's imagine I've got a client who is a software business, they've got a VAT return coming up, and FloatApp or any other cash flow tool has told us and informed us that they're clearly going to need to solve this cash flow problem. So you might come to Capitalize to look for say £120,000 for 12 months of working capital, and continue through the platform. And you can see we've already started to get some matches, and we're going through the process to find lenders. If the business is a limited company, I can click on that. I can then select the sector that they're in. Let's go and find some random software company. So we'll let's go with these guys, Software Antelope it is. So then at this point, we're importing data from Companies House and directory information, and I can see that's come back and that's given me a summary of the business. I can enter in the company telephone number, which will be used down the road for lenders to contact them. And on to the next questions of how long they've been trading, 1 to 2 years, their turnover. And now we're into some interesting questions that's going to dig more into the detail of the business. Do they raise invoices? In which case they do, software business, to a small range of clients, mostly large corporates, and then some other questions such as, do they have a credit card terminal? No, they don't. Is it funding for a particular asset? No, it's not. And do they receive purchase orders? Yes, sometimes I do. And when do I need the funding? So let's just say I need it in 1 month out. What guarantees am I prepared to offer? I'm going to say business. And now I get to put the information in about my client's name and email address. So if you want to control the process, and this is an important aspect of maintaining your advisory service, you may wish to click you want to use your details. If you want your client to be contacted and be invited to use Capitalize.com to work with lenders to produce an application, then you can put their details in here. So I'll put in client, Capitalize.com, continue. And this is where I just have to confirm I have permission to share my client's details with the lenders, because after all, once this has been checked by our team internally, this will be shared with lenders. So I can confirm yes to that. And now we move on to the funding search results. So here I get some sample results. These are not real results, but they're real lenders. And I can see, firstly, those at the highest likelihood of offer. So what I'm seeing here is not only lenders who are willing to lend to my business, therefore screening out those lenders which don't match the criteria, but I'm actually seeing them ordered by those that are most likely to send an offer to this client and this business. This has shortcutted all those days or weeks that business or you might spend waiting for offers to come from lenders who are not willing to lend to a client, and also accelerating the process to getting an offer. I've got some lenders pre-selected, so I've got the top 4 are pre-selected with the highest likelihood of offer. I can drill down into some more detail on these particular lenders, so I can see what documents are required, for example, what features there are on this lender. And let's just suggest that we go forward with these 4. Also can chat to our team here internally. So if actually you need some more information about which lenders to approach, you can start a chat with our team here, and they'll be ready and willing to help you make the selection. So assuming we know what we're doing and we're happy with these top 4, I can then submit that to lenders. That then goes back to our team here, who will just check the information and we'll pass that on to the lenders once that check's happened. And you'll then be invited to complete a fuller application. So at this point, because I said my client was to be invited, they will have received an email, and they'll also be invited to the same screen that I'm going to show you on the next page. So as I scroll down here, I can see a longer application form, and this information is all collated and shared with all lenders who have been invited to the lead. As an advisor, you have a box which the businesses do not get, and this is the ability for you to pass on information from your own head and your own work with the client directly to the lenders. So this might give some information about what they need the funding for. It might give some information about some history on the business. And any information that I've inputted through the process will be pulled through into the passport, as we call it. And then additionally, some additional information which are relevant to the lenders that have been selected, such as invoice, debtors, any margin questions, and invoice financing profile, such as the value of debtors, current debtor days, number of invoices outstanding, are all pulled through. So in this case, this is all entered manually. If right at the beginning I had selected to fill out my profile from 0, then this information would all be pulled from 0 as an accounting platform. Once the application has been filled in, obviously lenders will all receive the updated information and can review that centrally, where they'll decide to progress the information. They may request additional information until offers are created. All the offers and an updated status of which lenders have provided responses will come through to this page here, where you can see progress appearing across these bars, and the offers will appear as and when they're ready and available. So in this journey, we've seen how you can find funding and find the right lenders for your clients. There's no charge to use the platform, so you can sign up at capitalise.com and make use of our funding network. It's free for your clients as well, and we're paid on a success-only basis, meaning that we're aligned to find your clients the best funding arrangement. So that was a really brief tour of the funding search tool. You can also feel free to dip into the credit reports, which allows you to, as an accountant or as an advisor, to find credit reports about your businesses that you're working with. So we'll leave it there for now. Thank you for joining, and thank you also to Harriet for joining and talking us through Float.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much. Cool. Well, we'll look forward to speaking to you again in the future, and we'll be running a series of these presentations. So those are the details for how you can log on to either platform, and those are my details if you want to contact us. Cool. Thank you very much, and we'll stop there.